welcome back to the Lockwood Chronicles. My name is Larissa and I am going to be sharing with you my fall TBR as well as some recommendations for fall reads for you. First off, let's get into, you can't see all of it, but like I hung some fairy lights up. Like look how cool this is. I've just been playing around with them. Like, it's so fun. It's so distracting. Oh, that's so cool. And there's so many different colors. So far my favorite is this like salmon colored one. It's not showing up very well. Look at the red. Loving him was red. And there's orange, but it looks more like yellow, but this is the yellow. I don't know. Oh, let's do the red. It's fall time. Let's start off with my fall TBR. Some books that just I've been saving for the fall, that I've been wanting to read in the fall, that are physically on my shelves because I physically own them. I haven't purchased any at this moment in time as I'm filming this. That could have changed by the time this is uploaded, but so far these are on my physical TBR. Not Kindle, not digital, any of that. But these are the ones that I want to read this fall that I've been saving on my physical TBR for fall. How many more ways can I say it? Oh, let's just get into it. The first one, I haven't even taken the sticker off because these stickers suck. And that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is about Addie, and she makes a deal with the devil and is unable to, like, she's immortal. She lives forever. However, the trade-off is everybody that she meets does not remember her. So she keeps meeting people and they do not remember her, and she's lived a lot of life. And then apparently somebody does remember her. I've been waiting for the fall to read this and I'm so freaking excited to read this. Ugh! It's so floppy too. Like, we love a floppy. We love a floppy book. So that is the first. This is not in any particular order either. And if you would have watched my September TBR video, you will see some repeats of these too. And that would be Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. Again, fall vibes. Do I know what it's about at this moment in time? No, I don't. I don't really care. I don't want to know. It's giving me just like the fall vibes, you know? We all love the browns, the golds, the blacks in the fall time. Babel by R.F. Kuang. I have heard so many things about it. I've heard it's a lot of big brain energy, and she is a thick one. And it is about language, and I believe it is fantasy, but set in the real world. Somebody goes somewhere, it's 1828. Robin goes somewhere and is doing something about language, and that is Babel, or Babel if you're over in the UK. And then next up is Ninth House and Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, and these have been on my TBR for a while, but again, I wanted to wait until the fall to read them, and I'm finally getting around to it, and I'm so freaking excited. Like, this cover freaks me out so much, like that rabbit. Blah. No thank you, I can't look at it for long, so we're just gonna hide at the snake. Given Reputation, and we love Reputation vibes here. It's about like a secret society at Yale. I think there's magic. I don't know. I could be wrong. And then this is the continuation of it. I think they go to hell or something. That's why it's called Hellbent. Next one and last one on my immediate TBR for fall is Ink Blood Sister Scribe. It's given Witch. It's about these two sisters and they have to protect their library, and I think they're witches or something. We love these synopses, am I right? That is my immediate physical TBR for fall. Let me just hold them up so you can get the aesthetic look that we're going for fall. Oof, they're all so heavy. Oh, look at that. Look at that ombre. And then there's the colorful one at the bottom. But yes, that is my personal TBR. Now let me give you some recommendations. I love fall. Fall is just like reading central for me. Let's just start with this stack here. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern is very popular. It's a magical circus that pops up out of nowhere, and everything is in black and white, which is so cool, and it's forbidden love. But the thing is, the two that are in this magical duel, they start to fall in love with each other, but without ever meeting, and then start to incorporate things into the circus that the other would appreciate. And it's just So lovely. The writing is very lyrical. I will say it is kind of difficult to get into if you're not used to it, but it is very well worth it, and I absolutely love this cover. Like, love the little peekaboo cover. It's just beautiful, and you follow different characters, and it's a past present timeline, I believe, and it's just like a found family, a circus family. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. It is about World War II, the Nazis invading Germany, and that kind of start. Follows, what's her name again? The Book Thief. So she is just this little girl, and death kind of like follows her. It's narrated by Death, by the way, so like sometimes it's blips into the future, but you're just kind of like, ooh, what's she doing? She steals books because the Nazis, if you didn't know, burn books so people wouldn't have those resources or anything like the banned books or whatever, so they would burn books as that form. And then she ends up stealing books because she loves to read. She like wants to learn and everything, and she's just this little orphan, and death kind of just follows her and her story, and it's so beautiful. It's tragic, but it's, oh, I loved it. It was so good, and I just recommend this so much. A little happier one, which is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. So fun, so cute, so quirky. This girl, Florence, she is a ghost writer for this author, but the twist is, she's a romance author. The twist is she can see spirits, and she tries to help them pass on, and her family owns a mortuary. Something happens, and that sends her back to her hometown, which she hasn't been in 10 years due to some circumstances and some bullying. And before she goes, she gets a new boss, and this boss is hot, but he's also grumpy, and she just doesn't feel like that he likes her, whatever. Something happens, and she's like, hey, I have to go back, this is important, I won't be able, I need an extension on this deadline. And he's like, no, no, no. But then he shows up at her hometown at the front door when she answers, but he's a spirit. And she's like, well, what the heck? My boss is dead. Crap. And so she tries to help him pass on, and they get into some hijinks, and it's fun. It's just so fun. It's cute, it's quirky, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was just great. The Witch Haven, which I do not own, or I did own. I don't know where it went. I am so confused. Did I get rid of that? Anyway. Huh. No idea where that went. The Witch Haven is more of a YA. This girl accidentally kills her boss, and she's like a seamstress, but she kills her boss, but like with powers that she didn't know she had that were kind of hidden, and gets to go off to this orphanage where they teach them about magic. However, the stuff that they're teaching them is kind of suspicious, in the sense of like they still want them to be good wives and blah blah blah, and pretty much the patriarchy is still ruling even though they're a witch coven. And then a lot of things happen. Something about her brother. I don't know, it was just a fun time. It's been a while since I read it, but there is like a love interest or love triangle, I think, and it's just sisterhood and, you know, witches, coven of witches. Then Payback's a Witch. Emmy, she decides to not go home for a while because apparently there's like these games, and these 4 families compete in these games, and it's going to happen again, and her family is like the leaders of it. I don't know. It's just a fun time. So like it's trials, and they do a lot of like magic. It's giving Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Like they have to do all these families have to do all these and trials to see who's going to run the magic for the next however many years. It is a series though. I only read the first one. I don't know if I liked it enough to read the second one. Oh, there's 4 out. Okay, maybe I'll like give them a listen. The covers are super fun. Continuing on with the witchy, Harry Potter, always a seasonal classic favorite. So the whole series is just beautiful, fun, friendship. We all know what the Harry Potter series is, so just reread it. That's all. And then another classic, good old Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Vampires, just anything with vampires in it. You know, werewolves, love triangles, a good old goofy time. I really want to reread the series this year just to kind of see how I like it now, because I was obsessed with these when they first came out. Like, obsessed. I was in high school. I was the first one in my class reading it, and I feel like I started the craze, you know? because I was telling everybody, read this book, it's about vampires, and they're like, you're crazy. And then they loved it too. Then the movies happened, and well, we can refilm those, please. And then the Hunger Games, I feel like this is more, oh my gosh, there's a hummingbird outside my window. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh, there was a hummingbird just buzzing around my window. I don't have any feeders or anything. It was just looking in. That was so exciting. Oh, cute little hummingbird. Okay, all right. This gives me like fall or even spring vibes, but that is the Hunger Games. I mean, Katniss Everdeen, the girl on fire. She really wanted me, she inspired me to want to take up archery. Did I? No, but I did have a phase where I thought the world was going to end, so I was preparing my apocalypse team, so that kind of put that in motion. But yeah, just like a fun reread, or read it for the first time if you haven't. Teenagers go fight to the death and there's the declared winner, but some things happen. I want to reread this too. I want to reread all my childhood favorites. Oh, I might have to do that for a video. Let me know if you want to see that. And yeah, because it's been a while since I've read those. Oh, thrillers. I was like, that's it, right? No, thrillers. I gotta go to my thriller shelf here. Okay, some good ones here. Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. The Netflix show did a fantastic job of recreating this. So if you don't want to read the book, I would recommend watching the show. Actually, just like watch the show. It followed it very, very closely. And I absolutely was obsessed with the show. If you don't have Netflix anymore because you were on your parents, you got kicked out because you no longer live there, read the book. My favorite thriller is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. And this is about Alicia Berenson, and she shot her husband in the face like 11 times or something, and now she doesn't talk. She's in a psychiatric hospital, and this psychotherapist, Theo, thinks that he can get her to talk, figure out what actually went down with this and why she shot her husband so many times. And then continuing on with Alex Michaelides, The Maidens. It's very like dark academia thriller. Students are dying, and this group therapist went there for her niece and is trying to offer the students some grief counseling and everything, and also trying to solve this murder. And the professor seems very sus. He has this group of girls that follow him around for study sessions, and like they have their own little club, and everybody calls them the Maidens. And then my other favorite thriller is the one by John Mars. This is a DNA database matchmaking, what am I trying to say, online dating kind of thing, where you send in your DNA and it sends you who your match is depending upon if they sent in their DNA or not. It is the negative side effects of The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. It breaks up families. There's been a lot of issues with it, and it's just like, it's not scary by any means, but the couples that you follow quite a few different couples, and one of them is like a cop and a serial killer, and she's trying to figure out who's dying and like who the serial killer is, and he's just like, oh wow, I really like her. There's a bunch, like I said, a bunch of different couples. Netflix did do a show on this, but it's horrible. Did not follow this book at all. So book is way better. I'm so disappointed that they did not follow. I was really looking forward to it, especially since they did such a good job with Behind Her Eyes, and then they just completely did a horrible job with the one. Recommend this book so much. It is so fun. Like, it's great. Verity by Colleen Hoover. This was disgusting. This made me so queasy. It is about this woman, Verity, who is an author, and she is in a coma. So, what's her face? Lowen gets hired to be the ghostwriter to finish the series that Verity has created. Nobody knows that Verity is in this coma or having all these health issues from this accident that she was in. Lowen gets asked to finish this and go to the family home. Lowen is in Verity's study looking over for this book, researching all of this stuff, and comes across Verity's diary or manuscript or whatever, and it is disgusting. It is so hard to read, but you can't stop reading it, and there's just a lot of stuff that goes on in here. I really enjoyed this one. It was so good, so fast-paced. Go into it with caution. Like, go into all these thrillers with caution. Daisy Darker can be paired with Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Very similar plot. A group of people gets invited to this island and then they start dying one by one. The twists in them are different. Pretty Things by Janelle Brown. This is about a social media influencer who went off the map and all of a sudden started renting out some part of a cabin on a really expensive property. And these two con artists are trying to take her for all she has. Nina is the con artist and she gets down there and she's trying to figure out how to get all this money, and just a bunch of stuff happens, and wow. It wasn't as creepy as I thought it was going to be, but it was just fun. Also made me never want to be on social media. It was different than I thought it was. It's not anything like super scary, but so for like people that aren't into like the really creepy stuff, this would be a good intro. That is some of my favorite, or like my fall rec reads, as well as what I'm looking forward to reading this fall. What are something on your fall TBR? What is giving you some fall vibes with books? Let me know so I can potentially add it to my TBR. With that being said, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks, bye!